Hello, Aries, and welcome to your reading for the week of December 30th. So, I always start with my prayer and the guides, and the image that they started me with this time was of a hammer, a very strong hammer, a nice, healthy wooden handle with a metal head on it, really something that, a claw hammer is what it's called. And it looked big and strong, and then what it was showing me was it was being hit onto something that was so soft that it was just turning to mush, like it was almost like it was a blob of custard you were hitting. And the message that came with that was, that's not the kind of force you need to get the results you want. Using the harsh form of energy to try to change a situation, to, because it's a hammer, I'm going to say, try to force a situation into the way you want it to be, is not going to work for you this time. We know Aries, of course, very clear, very determined, very outspoken, not always terribly careful in how they communicate the words. And also, because there's such a strong fiery sign, you can have this quality of really wanting to push forward and make things happen, which can be a fantastic trait. But what you're being shown here is that it's not in your best interest to overkill. What's that expression? Trying to kill a mosquito with a hammer. It's overkill for what you need to do for this situation. Now, of course, this isn't going to be for everybody. This is not going to resonate with every Aries, and certainly there may be some aspects of it that are relevant, but not the entire story. So what I feel is happening here is you're being asked to look at, where are things not moving? Where are things kind of grinding to a halt? Where is the resistance showing up for you, either inside yourself around a situation or in a situation you're managing? So imagine that this, for example, might be a work situation where you're trying to force the closing on a contract. And you're running into all sorts of problems. And it may be with the person not wanting to sign the contract. It might be with details around the contract. It might be that all of a sudden papers get lost, or the physical mechanics of it suddenly are stalling, and you're building up this sense of frustration, and there's a quality of resistance with how the situation is, with what it is. You trying to force that right now, you trying to push that through with brute force, with I'm going to use the word manipulation. That's not exactly what I want to say, but with machination, with trying to make sure everything is placed just right, to, it's like running ahead, trying to move this obstacle and that obstacle, so to get rid of the resistance. That's the equivalent of a hammer. It's not that you don't need to be mindful, but what you're being asked to do instead of that is to step outside of that kind of structure of doing things. Look at the resistance. The resistance is offering you an indication of where your energy is stuck, because you're in an energetic dance with this. And so if something is not working, there's a very great chance that there is a lesson for you in this, because it's all about lessons. It's not about right and wrong. It's all about, what do you need to learn in order to be able to let your energy go in a way where the situation can move and resolve. Sometimes it's letting go of the outcome. Sometimes it is simply stepping outside of the energy of the situation. But what you're being asked to consider here is this. What can you forgive, and who do you need to forgive? Is there a sense of blaming that is causing a holding on? Is there a sense of a struggle, a fight, a punishment that is happening, that is keeping you engaged in this kind of attitude, or kind of attitude? What you seem to be being asked is, step up. Look at how to love from another level. look, not just love from another level, but it is love from another level. It is acknowledging the fact that we're all here to learn and grow. And yes, this situation may not be what you want it to be, and you may not like the way other people have behaved. You may not like the way you're behaving. Other people may not like the way you're behaving. But the point is, there's always something to learn and grow. And 9 times out of 10, when we learn it, and learn it from a spirit perspective, not from an ego perspective, although of course it's got to filter through the ego. When it really happens in a way that it expands your consciousness, your spiritual consciousness, that's when things fall away and the situation tends to move forward. So the way they're suggesting that you do this is start thinking of whatever this situation is, not as a problem, but as an experience. Let go of whatever stressors you can around it. Don't keep recreating more stress in your head about it. Allow yourself to dream beyond the problem. And when I say dream beyond the problem, I mean, imagine what your life would be like without this in it. Imagine, without worrying or considering the outcome of the situation, if this situation were not in your life and you were completely free of it, can you imagine how you might feel? Now, of course, if you get the resolution that you want, that's fantastic. And that might come into your picture too. But it's imagining the feeling of what it will be like when this is no longer there for you. The hammer part, it really is asking you to step up now and take this beautiful, strong, powerful Aryan energy and link that intense and very, very clear, fiery energy. Take it up a notch. Take it up into a higher frequency. It's difficult sometimes for Aries. Aries, you're very ego-driven in a lot of ways. And that's not bad. That's just the nature of your energy. But it can create problems for you when you insist that things have to be a certain way, and you can create resistance from that place. I'm monitoring my words because I realize it sounds like I could be criticizing you, and I'm really not. I love a lot of Aries. I have loved a lot of Aries in my life. And they can be really, really fantastic, wonderful, warm people. They can also be brutal in their communication skills and sometimes determined beyond what is good for them to get what they want. So I'm just asking you, check into that. The card that you're also getting is be your own hero. So what does that mean? Well, if you want to be your own hero and you are looking at this as a process of growth and evolution, which frankly, if you're listening to this, I am imagining that you are somebody who is interested in metaphysics and spiritual growth. So if you are, then who would you want to emulate? How can you be more of that kind of person? If you were to step back and look at yourself and how you are in this particular situation, would you like you? What would you change? Would you see your sticking points? Would you see where the resistance is? Can you see where your personality might be holding you back? Because that's the gold. That's where you get to really see and let go, because you are so powerful that when you can step out of whatever has been holding you back, whatever has been keeping you in a stranglehold of something that is not moving for you, that is when you're going to really, really shine and be able to take that energy and apply it at another level for all sorts of manifestation, but from a place of ease, from a place of managing it energetically rather than managing it with a hammer. And again, I'm going back to when I say managing it energetically, it's not, and I think this goes back to a reading I did last week for you. I'll have to check, but it's starting to ring a bell. It's not about going into high frequency so you can manipulate the situation down below. It's about going into high frequency to expand your consciousness so that you start understanding life and how to manage it from a very different place, so that your ego is not the driving force. It becomes the vehicle for your higher conscious mind, because it's really there for you. It's really there. And your mind is so strong and can be so structured. It's beautiful. I mean, it's a beautiful vehicle. And this is your opportunity now to start. It's kind of like moving from a fossil fuel vehicle to an electric vehicle. You're taking it up a notch, okay? And this is where you get to go. And then everything starts unfolding like ripples on a water. It's like you throw in a rock, this little pebble of awareness, and everything starts to shift and open up for you. And I literally see it kind of like a flower that's opening, and then boom, like this, almost like a beautiful big peony. So that is the message for you, my lovely Aries. For those of you who this fits, seriously, this is an opportunity for you to tap into something magnificent and make what is already a strong and powerful mind and a strong and powerful energy even more powerful, but from a different place, or because it's coming from a different place. So that is the message for you, Aries. If this resonates, I'd love to hear about it. Likes, shares, subscriptions, all good, all appreciated. I hope this helps in some way, and I'll be back next week. Take care.